Imagine you just spent $60,000 on a luxury SUV. You drive it home, neighbors envy you, and you feel like you've made it. But when it's time for major repairs, you realize that car brand has completely abandoned you. The dealership shuts down, parts are on back order for 6 months, and the nearest certified technician is 3 states away. Why? Because they stopped caring about customers and only care about profits. I'm a luxury car consultant with 20 years of experience, and today I'm going to show you the 4 brands you should sell before their value plummets to 0, and the 2 brands you should never touch. Stick around until the end of this video to learn the exact 3-step process I use in the shop to check if your car is about to become a partless orphan in the next 3 years. Let's dive in. Let's start with the cat in the room, Jaguar. For decades, this was the badge of the gentleman racer. It was leather, wood, and a soul. But today, Jaguar is in what I call the service desert. Here is the plot twist. Jaguar hasn't really released a new car in years. In late 2024 and 2025, they literally pulled the plug on almost their entire gas-powered lineup. The XF, the F-Type, even the E-Pace, gone. They decided to stop selling cars for a year to rebrand as an ultra-luxury EV maker. But here's what they didn't tell the people who already own one. When a brand goes dormant like this, the ecosystem dies. I had a client last month with a 2021 F-Pace. Beautiful car. It had a simple sensor failure in the infotainment loop. In 2022, that's a 1-day fix. In 2026, it took 3 weeks just to find a tech who still had an active subscription to JLR's Pathfinder diagnostic software. See, independent shops, the guys like me who save you money, usually won't spend the $5,000 a year for the Pathfinder or SDD software licenses if there are only 3 Jaguars left in town. If we can't talk to the car's computer, we can't fix it. You're forced back to the dealer. And guess what? Dealers are closing. According to 2025 data, Jaguar's 5-year depreciation is hovering around 65%. That means for every $10,000 you spent, $6,500 is just gone. If you're holding the keys to an F-Pace or an I-Pace right now, you are holding a depreciating rock. My advice? Sell it while the leaping cat still has a heartbeat. Because once they go full EV in 2026, your gas Jaguar is going to be an expensive piece of driveway art. The Chrysler. Now, let's talk about an American legend that is currently breaking hearts and bank accounts, Chrysler. Most people see the Pacifica and think it's the ultimate family van, and on paper it is. It's got the stow-and-go seats, the vacuum, the screens, but look under this hood. Chrysler is now a one-model brand. Aside from the aging Voyager, the Pacifica is all that's left. And here is the whistleblower secret the dealership won't mention. The Pacifica Hybrid has been at the bottom of Consumer Reports' reliability rankings for years, scoring a pathetic 14 out of 100 in recent studies. We are seeing massive issues with the high-voltage battery packs and the 9-speed transmissions. I once saw a guy bring in a 2023 Pacifica Hybrid with 40,000 miles. It had a battery coolant heater failure. A $50 plastic part failed, but because of the way it's integrated into the hybrid system, the dealer quote was $5,000 in labor and associated modules. But it gets worse. While you're paying those repair bills, your value is tanking. The Toyota Sienna, its main rival, retains nearly 17% more of its value over 5 years. On a $50,000 van, that's an $8,000 penalty just for having the Chrysler badge. If you've ever felt that sinking feeling when a warning light pops up on your dash, you need to see what's coming at brand number 3. It's a brand everyone thinks is bulletproof Japanese engineering, but it's actually a ticking bomb. Before we move on, I want to hear from the parents. Have you owned a Pacifica or an Odyssey? Did the stow-and-go convenience outweigh the trips to the shop? Drop a comment below. I'm curious if anyone has actually hit 150,000 miles on a hybrid Pacifica without a major powertrain swap. The Mitsubishi. Now, we have to talk about Mitsubishi. For years, the internet has been predicting Mitsubishi's funeral, but in 2026, they're doing something even more dangerous than dying. They're pretending to be a premium brand. They just launched their Momentum 2030 plan, promising 2 new vehicles every year and a move toward high-end electrification. But here is the plot twist. While they're building gallery showrooms in fancy malls, the cars sitting in your driveway are still struggling with the same budget brand ghosts of the last decade. If you own a 2022 to 2025 Outlander, you probably love the styling. It looks like a Range Rover on a budget. But underneath that skin is a Nissan-sourced powertrain that is giving mechanics like me gray hair. Specifically, we're seeing owners report hoods that literally flutter and vibrate at highway speeds. It's a terrifying visual when you're doing 70 on the interstate and it looks like your latch is about to fail. I had a guy bring in a 2024 Outlander PHEV recently, 1,800 miles on the clock. It was throwing check engine codes for the alternator, which, get this, is currently on a 60-day backorder nationwide. Imagine making a $600 car payment for a vehicle that's been sitting on a dealer lot for 2 months because of a supply chain that Mitsubishi can't seem to figure out. See this? These are metal shavings from a Jatco CVT transmission. Mitsubishi is one of the last holdouts for these units. While they claim the CVT-8 is refined, shop data from early 2026 shows that if you aren't changing your transmission fluid every 30,000 miles, which the manual says you don't need to do, you're looking at an $8,000 replacement before the car is even paid off. Mitsubishi is trying to pivot to a younger, tech-savvy buyer, but they're leaving their legacy owners in the dust. If you're looking at a new Mitsubishi in 2026, you aren't buying Japanese reliability. You're buying a Nissan in a tuxedo with a smaller dealer network to help you when it breaks.
The Infiniti. If Jaguar is the service desert, Infiniti is the identity crisis. Once the true rival to BMW and Lexus, Infiniti has become the brand that Nissan corporate forgot to feed. Here's the 2026 reality check. They've axed the Q50 sedan. They've axed the QX50 and QX55 because of tariff-related pauses. What's left? The QX60 and the massive QX80. But here is the pro-hack information the glossy brochures hide. Infiniti's variable compression, or VC turbo engine, the one they spent 20 years and 300 patents developing, is currently at the center of a massive 440,000 unit recall. We're talking about main bearing failures that can cause total engine seizure. In June 2025, NHTSA closed an investigation after Nissan agreed to extend the powertrain warranty on these engines to 10 years or 120,000 miles. Now, you might think, great, free warranty. But ask yourself, do you want to own a car where the fix is just the manufacturer admitting the engine might explode and promising to pay for it later? Luxury is about peace of mind. But when I see 2025 QX60 owners on forums reporting that their $17,000 worth of warranty repairs still didn't fix their electrical ghosts, I have to ask, is the Infiniti badge still a luxury? I want to hear from the Infiniti owners specifically. Have you dealt with the VC turbo recall yet? Did your dealer give you a loaner, or were you stuck Ubering for 2 weeks? Let's get a real-world head count in the comments. We've covered the Walking Dead brands, but now we're getting into the masterclass. I'm going to show you the #1 brand on this list, a brand that sells nearly 1 million cars a year, but is currently facing a 90% drop in profits. If you think your bulletproof SUV is safe, you need to see this. You stayed this long, so I'm going to give you the whistleblower toolkit. If you're shopping for a car in this volatile 2026 market, you need to use my 3-3-3 rule to ensure you don't end up with a parts orphan. First, the 3 model rule. Never buy a car with an engine that is only used in one model. If that model gets canceled, the parts prices triple overnight. You want engines like the Toyota 2.5-liter or the Honda 2.0-liter engines made by the millions that every mechanic in America knows how to fix. Second, the 3-year resale floor. Go to a site like CarEdge and look at the 3-year depreciation for the specific VIN you're eyeing. If it loses more than 40% in 36 months, the market is telling you something the dealer won't. The car is a liability. Third, the third-party tech check. Before you buy, call a local, highly rated independent shop. Ask them, if I bring you a 2025 Jaguar or a 2026 Nissan with an electrical ghost, do you have the software to fix it? If they say dealer only, run away.
And here is the secret I promised at the beginning. The #1 brand dealers don't want you to know about? It's the brand that is quietly buying up the refurbished parts of these failing companies. If you want to know which brands are actually surviving this extinction event, look at who is hiring the engineers that Nissan and Chrysler just laid off. Don't let a flashy 0% APR offer blind you to a $10,000 depreciation hit. Do your homework, check the VIN, and keep your money in your pocket. If this helped you save a few $1,000s, hit that subscribe button. I'm doing a deep dive next week on the survivor brands that will actually make it to 2030. You don't want to miss that. I'll see you in the next one.